Welcome to Rico and Hook, the number one I Broke My Hip talk show on Wayne Host TV.
You know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke?
And I was in the Children's Medical Center in the waiting room for 2 hours.
You know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke?
What?
If we talked about sports again.
No. Can we bring Marissa back?
To start off, the first pick in the draft goes to the Chicago Bears, straight out of the second city, if you will. Let's go Sox. Who do you have going first overall?
Caleb Williams.
Chicago.
Kind of already picked at this point.
But there's.
How about you?
Do you think Caleb Williams? Because this is the prime.
Caleb
question.
Williams deserve to go number one? No.
We know he's going to go number one. Do you think he wants to play for the Bears? Because he's
he realized
a very
that he had
decisive
no choice,
man.
and then now he's been saying that he wants to go there.
If he had his pick, who do you think
he would come to New York?
the Giants?
Yeah,
New York.
He would come to New York.
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm sure.
Who's the best offensive lineman on the New York Giants?
Andrew Thomas. He's like a top 3 left tackle. You don't even have a top 5 offensive lineman.
I forgot Andrew Tyron Smith.
He's 34 and he's been hurt every year of his
So is Caleb Williams.
I don't want Caleb.
He's 23.
Yeah.
I'm also going with Caleb Williams, which is a big shocker, going first pick.
Yeah.
Number 2, Washington Commanders. Formerly had the best name in NFL history, the football team. Who do you got going number 2?
Numero Jaden Daniels at number 2.
LSU
Jaden
guy.
Daniels' pro day was absolutely horrible, but yeah, you can keep him at number 2.
LSU guy going number 2 with the history they've had
Heisman
with quarterbacks. You're really going. You're going kind of like a big risk type of guy. You didn't even let me finish my sentence before you agreed with me. That's how I know you don't actually listen to what I say.
Nope.
I'm going Drake May.
Of course
going number 2.
Drake May's
a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's an amazing person. Is a former North Carolina Tar Heel. So as a player, I need to respect him. But as a Tar Heel, I can say without a doubt that I don't like him very much.
Oh, you're a Duke fan?
He's too good. Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah.
You didn't know. There was a guy on one of the shows last year. He was a Duke fan. Final Whistle had 4 guys on there. We've been beating them in viewership with just 2. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Drake May at number 2.
All right. Well, number 3, Patriots.
Us, Wayne Hills.
No, not us.
Let's go Pats.
This is the 6th Super Bowl.
Let's go Pats. Or the baseball team
But-
is great. Their catchers.
Okay, but are they going to trade out? I think they need to trade out. It's because they don't have enough. They're so bad.
I think the highest draft pick that trades out is your New York Giants at number 6.
Yeah, we're not trading up for a
But that's an interesting point to make. Who could you – so if the Patriots do trade down in the draft, do you see them going for multiple first-rounders, or do you see them going for like a third-rounder, second-rounder, and potentially a player?
I can see them going for like a Vikings 11 and 23 trade.
Okay.
Or a Raiders at 14 and get their first round next year. I think that's their best bet.
So even if they don't keep that third pick, do you still see them going with a quarterback?
It depends on where they go. If they go to 11, none of the quarterbacks are going to fall that's worthy to go in the first round.
21, you could make a big risk for
like a Michael Penix.
I would say so. He's obviously great. I think he'll shine in the NFL. It's just the fact that he's 42 years old.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they stay, and I'm having them take Drake May, and you're having them take.
I would probably go with Jaden Daniels here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I can definitely take that.
Yeah.
Do you like what you see? What do you see in Jaden Daniels that you like more than Drake May?
I see Jaden Daniels more of an athlete than Drake May.
Okay.
Again, he's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best.
But Drake May is he's a sneaky athletic type.
He's like a.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Jones is 6'5", but
Yeah. Well, I would not want a quarterback that was compared to Daniel Jones.
no. I mean, he's kind of compared to Zach Wilson in measurement.
Can we not talk about Zach Wilson?
Yeah, they can't even trade him for anything.
Can we not talk about Zach Wilson? You know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke?
If Zach
If we
Wilson
moved
became a
on
starter.
You know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke? If we moved on to the 4th pick. If we
And-
brought Marissa back and we moved on to the 4th pick in the draft, Arizona Cardinals.
And when they trade out, I think Arizona's going to trade out. They need to accumulate more.
You're going back to back trade outs.
No. I'm going to keep the Patriots there. Cardinals are going to trade out, take 11 and 23 from the Vikings. The Vikings come up. They take J.J. McCarthy at 4.
Wow.
That's what's going to happen.
You're going with them taking
J.J. McCarthy.
Because here's the
1, 2,
thing.
3, 4 are going to be all quarterbacks.
I think McCarthy's a top 5 pick in the draft. I don't think he's a top 5 talent.
No,
and
not
if
even
you
close. He's like a barely first round talent.
you can surround J.J. McCarthy with great guys like Jordan Addison.
You have Jordan
and
Addison,
Justin
Jefferson,
Jefferson.
T.J. Hawkinson,
The only thing is
Aaron Jones.
Is he just going to be handing it off to running back number 1? I forgot who the Vikings have.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
He's a very good player.
Very good player.
That's what's going to happen.
He was ahead of A.J. Dillon, whom I met. And I told him to come to the Jets, and he told me to shut up.
Don't blame him.
That's what you want to see. Shout out the Packers. Went to Boston College.
All right. Well, who
I just thought I'd give you like a history lesson.
No, I really don't care. Who are you taking at
my
4?
4? I don't know if I would go with McCarthy. I could see Arizona trading down, but I think they keep this pick, and I think they go with one of those top dogs in the slot. I would say maybe a Malik Neighbors
at number 4.
I'm so sorry, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what Malik Neighbors is not better than Marvin Harrison Jr. in any facet of the game.
No.
And I apologize to those of you who for about 5 to 10 seconds thought I meant to say Malik Neighbors, because I would go with Marvin Harrison at the 4.
All right.
I think he has potential to be better than his father was.
All 4 quarterbacks gone. The Chargers have the chance to take the best player in the draft.
Yes.
And
you are, of course, talking about
and Jim Harbaugh is stressing out in his
Brock Bowers. You were talking about.
He's stressing out in
Joe
his
Alt.
first. Yeah. Joe Alt is going number 5 to the Chargers.
Really?
Jim Harbaugh is scared. Justin Herbert got bullied last year.
Okay.
He couldn't stand there. Joe Alt is the best tackle in the draft. He's the best guy ready to plug and play.
Yes, plug and play. I was semi-joking with the Joe Alt pick.
No,
I was going to say Jalen McMillan next. So there's that.
But what we're going to do, and since we're ending our mock draft, pick 5, but Marvin Harrison Jr. falls in the Giants' lap at number 6, and they get the best receiver in the draft.
So you had McCarthy going before Marvin Harrison Jr.
I had JJ.
That might be sacrilegious.
They're trading up to number 4. Jim Harbaugh panics. He goes, "What are we gonna do? Oh, let's just solidify the O line. I don't care about a receiver. We only got rid of all of ours."
Yeah. You know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke?
If the Giants ever had a chance to get it. If the Giants trade up number 3 and
if
take
the Giants didn't pick a bust, you know what would be a great April Fool's Day joke? Hear me out. I heard this at a Flo Rida concert. Addicted to the money so much I pray to it. Call me sacrilegious. Number 5, the Joe Alt pick isn't too bad. However,
if Giants
with my boy Mike Will made it now a New York Jet.
Yeah, he's not
never
gonna
finished
do
that sandwich. We're talking about the We're talking about the Chargers here, not the Giants or the Jets. I think they go with a receiver, and I think they take the second best receiver off the board, and I would go with Malik Neighbors at number 5.
Yes.
And the New York Giants with the 6th pick then take J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan, owns Michael Penix, owns the entire state of Washington. He'll throw out the first pitch at a Mariners game because he owns Seattle.
No.
I think so.
That's not happening.
It would be a great April Fool's Day joke.
They would trade back. I don't care if they're
overtaking a quarterback.
They already went out to dinner with him like 3 times.
What did he order?
I don't know.
Chicken fingers.
I don't even
like
know where
Joe
they
Burrow?
went.
That's a great story. You want to talk about LSU quarterbacks? Was Jaden Daniels taken out to a steakhouse by the Cincinnati Bengals GM and ordered chicken fingers and fries?
I don't know.
You're right. We can never know because we're not in his head.
Well,
That's yeah, I don't know. So do you?
I think that the Giants are going to get the best receiver in the
draft.
draft.
You're being genuine when you say that
and
Marvin
I'm being
Harrison.
Serious as I do think the Chargers are going to take Joel. Have you looked at their offensive line depth chart? Don't mind Joshua Palmer being their wide receiver 1, but their offensive line depth chart.
I took him off the
let Will
waivers in
Clapp
fantasy
go.
thinking he would actually put up a second 20-point game 2 weeks in a row.
They let Will Clapp go.
I know.
That was actually the most devastating news. And Buffalo picked him up. It's the most devastating news.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss Clapp. I'm gonna be honest. Clapp
right.
with 2 P's.
Unfortunately.
That's a fun name to say. That'll do it for this week's episode.
Tune in next week for another episode of the #1 physical therapy show on Wayne Hills TV.
Good job. You saved yourself.
I'm Rico.
And I'm Hook. Bye-bye now. Stare at the camera, stare at the camera, stare at the camera, stare at the camera, stare at the camera.